to me, Sha, if I want to put it ultimately, I think US have the potential, the credentials to go going far more than Mexico and Canada.
As it stands now, I think I will give my nod to Mexico. Among the three host nation countries, I believe Mexico can go far better than the US and the Canada.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Soccer Show, where you get the best of football analysis and the best of football news. Which of the countries do we think that will go far in this World Cup? Chima, Albert, among the three host nations, which are the US, Canada, and Mexico, which of the countries do you think will go far in this World Cup, considering the first match that they've played?
Yes, it's a subjective question, but first, before I go into a little bit of details, you see, every game in every tournament, every game come one after the other. Sometimes some may not actually start well, but they will end up well. But if we're looking at the team, the three host nations, US, Canada, and Mexico, let's put into real-time reality, right? The first game, Mexico played against South Africa and won them 2-0, right? Then Canada first game, they drew 1-1 against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yeah. Then US pummeled Paraguay by 4-1. Then if we go by individual qualities, right? US is far better than them. Now, one of the most notable players in the Mexican side is someone like Raul Jimenez, like who is moving back now from Fulham to Wolverhampton Wanderers, right? Now, if you're talking about notable player in the Canadian side, talking about Alphonso Davies of the Bayern Munich. Now, but in the American side, we have many of them. Weston McKenzie, Timothy Weah, this guy Tillman, Folari Balogun, Christian Pulisic, a host of them, and they are doing very well in their respective clubs, right? But sometimes football don't actually go in that manner. Now, because that's where teamwork actually speak. But on the one hand, experience as well of the players actually count. But if I want to go by what they have played, if we want to go by statistics, where each country have gotten to in the World Cup stage, we'll say it's Mexico, because I believe in 1978 or Argentina 78 or thereabout, they got into the knockout stage or thereabout. So, but America, the quarterfinal, yes. So, but America have not got into that stage, and as well as Canada. But the new look of these three teams, America completely supersedes them in terms of players, in terms of their club performance, in terms of harnessing them in a cohesive whole as a team. It underscores in the performance their first games when America won Paraguay 4-1 and Mexico won South Africa 2-0, and as well as Bosnia and Herzegovina holding Canada 1-1 stalemate. So, but to me, Sha, if I want to put it ultimately, I think US have the potential, the credentials to go going far more than Mexico and Canada.
Anyway, but that's your own opinion. Let me hear from Chima. Chima, what's your opinion about these three host nations? The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Which of the countries do you think?
If I check their FIFA ranking, Mexico is ranked 14th in the world currently, while US is ranked 17th in the world.
So currently. Mexico is ahead of them.
Yes, while Canada is ranked 30 in the world. So if Canada is 30th in the world, they played their first match against Bosnia. They played 1-1. I saw their game. They were not bad. Then the second team, US, played 4-1. Balogun scored a brace and was given man of the match in that game. We have Pulisic. We have quite a number of good players in that team as well. And they have a world-class coach in Pochettino. Mauricio Pochettino, the former Tottenham coach. Then we come to the Mexican team as well to play against South Africa. For me, I was not really much impressed with the performances of Mexican team against South Africa, because I believe with how bad South Africa played, if South Africa had played a better team, they would have conceded more goals. So even when South Africa were one man down or two men down, they were even playing better than the Mexicans at a certain time.
When they were one man down,
they were even playing better than when they were complete. So at that moment, I felt like the Mexican team were a bit shaky.
They didn't use advantage of the numerical advantage.
They did not use the advantage. So even judging Klopp, even lashed at both of them that the way they played, that even Mexico was not that good tactically. Yeah. So, but if I have to judge it physically with players squad, I will give it to US, because US have more quality players, have more talent, have more better names that can change things around in a twinkle of an eye in any game. But I think if I want to go for a team that can progress better, it can turn either way, but I will give it to Mexico.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the Mexicans have more team, they have more better structure, they are well better organized as a team, or they might be more better organized as a team more than the US. So I believe if US play, let's see how the second and third games turns out to be. But I believe from what I've seen and from history as well too, and how I have known the Mexican team and the US team, I believe Mexico is a more footballing nation than US, and I believe at every given time, Mexican team are always a team to beat anytime. So in any team, in any group, they're always favorite to even qualify from the group and to go far. So at the stand now, I think I will give my nod to Mexico. Among the 3 host nation countries, I believe Mexico can go far better than the US and the Canada.
Yeah, I'm looking at the opposition, the opponent you play. You understand? Mexico played South Africa. I think South Africa, for now, to me, is stronger than the Paraguayan team. So Mexico, to me, is a team that I believe will go further than these other 2 nations, the US and the Canada. US played Paraguay, pummeled them 4-1. Canada and Mexico played South Africa. They won 2-0. Then Canada drew with Bosnia. I think, to me, Mexico is more of a football nation than US. US is more of a basketball country, in as much as US has more quality or pronounced players than the Mexicans. But to me, Mexicans has more of a teamwork than the US. Albert.
Everybody are entitled to their own opinion, as opinion is independent to the individual. So yes, Mexico has a team, Canada has a team, America as well as a team, and they are the host nations. I believe they prepared well, and they came with the best of their players, the best quality of their players as well. But I think looking at individual characteristics, individual techniques, individual ability to change the dynamics of every game, I think the US possess it. Now, I think you're the one that says US is not actually pronounced when it comes in terms of football. Yeah, we know. Even Brazil, that is heralded as the best footballing nation in the world in terms of World Cup. I think the last time they won the World Cup was in 2002. You understand? Other countries too that are not footballing nations have been making very big wave. You understand, in the World Cup, and Brazil has been kept into the reserve seat as far as international football World Cup, yes, for now. So there's a possibility, you understand, the propensity of any nation that intends to improve in a particular thing to improve given a period of time. But given the World Cup so far so good, their performance, and I watch them play, yes, Mexico may have a set of youthful team that is growing up, you understand, but at the end of the day, what matters football sometimes is the ability to curtail high-profile matches, to curtail opponents that have the wherewithal, they have experienced players, the ability to curtail them. But in all put together, given the coach and everything America has now in their kitty, I think America has everything it takes, all the potential it takes to go far, far beyond Canada and Mexico.
Another thing you should know, that progressing to the next round depends on the opponent you meet and the approach, and each game comes with its own approach too.
Absolutely.
And I think opponents will determine who will progress to the next round.
Like you said, opponents matter, but I don't believe that the Paraguayan team are lesser to South Africa.
No, that's what I believe. That's to my own opinion. I said to my own opinion.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Your own opinion.
I don't believe that, but sometimes you might, in terms of name, it might be bigger, but in terms of play currently, you might be lesser. So just like he said about the Brazil national team, which is quite true, because since 2002, Brazil have not won the World Cup about 22 or 20 years plus now. So I believe that if you want to play Brazil now, everybody believes that Brazil is a footballing nation, but now the squad at the parade right now is nothing to write home about as a team, but individually, yes, they have the talent. That was why Morocco was able to draw them. If it were Brazil of those days that we used to know, even if Morocco draw that match, but Morocco will see fire. Okay. They will know, you understand, you see full attack.
Instead it was Brazil that saw fire.
But instead it was Brazil that saw fire. If not for Vinicius Junior that did this Real Madrid team, Brazil will have lost the game.
But point for them.
Imagine a Brazilian team having Igutialdo as a top striker that plays for Brentford. That tells you that Brazil is gone. So
but they should have, if they have that Brentford player, they should have gone with Pedro.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you, that to tell you how how Brazil team has been dismantled or how they are lacking quality attackers currently now. So, but then if you come to this Mexico and this US team,
US, Canada.
Yes, in the group stage, sometimes you can score so many goals. Like now, US are scoring 4 goals against a Paraguay team. Yes, even in that group, Paraguay can later come out to become the top team. And then when you get to the knockout stage, and if they come to the knockout stage, depending on the opponent, like you said, US might find themselves wanting. But you see this Mexican team, I see the team like, despite they are starting slowly.
They are compact
side and they are starting slowly, That's when they played badly, but they still managed to get that 2 goals out of South African team. I believe that their next game might be far better than what they played before. And I believe that gradually, because they are a very, very good side. But the US team, I'm just seeing them that they are just showing some flashes. And then if they meet a very organized team, maybe they might struggle very, very well to even get a draw. So I still stand with Mexico.
How about you stand with the US?
100%.
Okay, fans at home, how about is tipping the US to go further than any other team among the 2 teams or 3 teams that are hosting the World Cup, which are Mexico and Canada? Why Chima is tipping Mexico to go further than US and Canada, and I'm tipping Mexico to go further than US and Canada.
You usually go with the third option. Why don't you go with Canada?
Canada disappointed me. They drew with Bosnia and Herzegovina 1-1.
It does not matter. So, they can still come out of the group.
No, for now, we don't look at Canada as a football nation. We look at Canada where you can get athletes, sprinters. People like, what's his name? Alto Bordon of Canada, Ben Johnson of those days. Okay, Alto Bordon is from Trinidad. So, okay, fans at home, thank you for having us. God bless you all.